we have different types of friends. Like, I don't know about you, but I kind of just feel into the sense, like, who do I need right now? Like, do I need some creative inspiration? Like, who do I know? Which one of my friends is creative? Like, who can take me into that space and help give me some inspo around some of this stuff? Do I need just some support and some kindness and just my space to be heard? Then maybe it's my mum, maybe it's my partner, or it's just feeling into that. I don't think anyone can tell you. You know the relationship. You know how some of your friends will respond. Just like almost you said, you get their voice note, you hear their voice. You automatically can feel into what they would give you. And sometimes we get it wrong. You know, I've done it before, and I pick up the phone and I have a chat with my friend. I come off it and I'm like, no, that wasn't what I needed right now. That didn't. I don't feel any better. And that's not their fault, or it's just everyone has their skills, right? Knowing what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I know for myself, I underestimated the capacity of the people around me. But going back in time to when I was 25 years old, this was all starting to happen for me. I was underestimating the capacity that the friends I already had around me were capable of. You know, how what they could hold, what level of intimacy they were willing to go to with me. And so, I guess just opening the door up a little bit by being in that men's circle invited me to have those conversations with the guys that I'd been in relationship with for 6-7 years, that we'd done a lot of stuff together but hadn't had those vulnerable conversations. And I think what it is, I decided to take a risk. I said, you know what, I care more about continuing this relationship with this person, and at this point I know that if we just stay on the surface, it's not going to be as deep as it can be. And if we're not able to go to that depth, then that's fine, but at least I'll know. So someone has to take a risk, and someone's got to be willing to go first. And in some cases that was me. In other relationships it was somebody else, but somebody's got to take that first plunge. It's like when you're dating someone for the first time, it's like, who's going to make the move? Who's going to go in for the first kiss, right? It's that intimate moment where somebody says, all right, here's my heart. Are you going to show me yours? And I would say pretty consistently, my decision to lead with vulnerability was met by someone else's compassion, empathy, and then inspiration to share for themselves. Not always, not 100% of the time, because some people just aren't willing to go there, but also knowing that that's not about me. That doesn't make my vulnerability any less valuable or legitimate. That's just a reflection of that person's life.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally. And it's in that sense, it's a little bit of a game, isn't it? We can't always know. There has to be that's how friendships grow. It's like you just push the boundary a little bit more, hey, and you have an experience with them where you're like, whoa, hey, I didn't realize we could go there, but I'm so glad we did. I feel like I see you more deeply now. And I feel, our friendship has grown now. But like you say, the only way we do that is by testing the water, putting, another foot a little bit further, and what happens next.
And I know I used to think I was so fragile too. I actually just had a memory of, it was right when I was 25. All this stuff, I had a 25th year for me was a huge year. I had a bunch of experiences, relocated from New York to California. And I just remembered having a conversation with a young lady that I met and traveled with for a bit. One day she just said to me, she's like, you're not as fragile as you think you are. And I was like, what are you talking? She'd known me for like 3 days at this point. And she's like, you're not as fragile as you think you are. I was like, what are you talking about? And she was younger than me. So I'm like, who are you? Are you some sort of alien telling me some message from the ether? She's right on, because I thought that I needed certainty in everything. I needed certainty, especially when it came to vulnerability. I needed to know that you were going to receive this. Otherwise, I don't know if I'll be able to handle the rejection, the letdown, the disappointment. But we're more resilient than we think we are. Absolutely. And if we don't give ourselves those opportunities to say, okay, well, that didn't go the way that I wanted it to. What now? I'm still alive. I still have a pulse. Didn't feel very good. Okay, well, that's information for next time. But I think we have to have more of those experiences. Some people would call them failures, or just, the outcome being different than you thought it would be. But I think those are so necessary, specifically when it comes to opening ourselves up.
I think like you said a second ago, it's taking that understanding that this is not about me. That they weren't in a space to receive that, and that's okay. But I can pick up the phone to someone else. I can speak to someone else. It's okay. I like, the stories that we make up. I love every day I go by, it's going to sound a bit crazy, but I look at dogs as such a beautiful teacher for us in terms of the lack of stories that they make up. If I wasn't a dog person and a dog comes over to me and it's like, hey, trying to just love me like they do, and I'm like, oh, hey, I'm not really a dog person, whatever, like, shoo away, dog, like, leave me alone. The dog doesn't go, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Am I too big? Am I too small? Like, why does he not like me? What's happened? Is my hair bad today? All these stories, like, oh my God, I can't go and speak to that person because there's something wrong with me. Like, he just showed me that. The dog just like, hey, cool, you're doing your thing. I'm going to go and see if this person likes me. And there's no stories around it. As humans, we love making stories, don't we, that we carry with us. And like, so much of my journey I continue and I just continue to dig deeper and fall deeper into the solution always for us all just is presence. When we're just truly present without these stories, without this bullshit, who we should be, of like what that meant and what this and da, and we just center into like the truth of right now, then that's me at my best. That's me and my truth.